to practice this, but sometimes it doesn't come out the way it should. And you just have to open your heart, just in case some people think that it's about objectifying people, to really understand where each of these individuals are coming from, especially the judges who are there to judge the competitors. That's their job. To not objectify, but to judge, to see if this individual could take home and potentially be that Mr. Universe, or that Miss Universe, or that Miss Grand International, or whatever pageant you join.
Yeah.
Does what you stand for also align with what this pageant also stands for? And would you work well together?
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah.
and of course, when it comes to experience, and you brought up all these different things where I've been in certain indie movies, and I've also been a bench underwear model, and all sorts of different things that I've done in my past. I'm also, I know I said that I'm Filipino, but I'm also half Norwegian. And in Norway, sex is part of
Normal.
life.
Yeah.
We have sex education over there. At 12 years old, like, you can watch TV, like local TV, and there are sex scenes. But guns, that's R18. But at least it opens your doors to certain things. For me, sex is just a part of life. I know that the Philippines is very conservative, but in that aspect, I guess I also have that side where I grew up, and I don't have malice when it comes to those things. And I just feel like, as long as someone doesn't come up to me and ask me, like, if they can take advantage of me, I will give them a benefit of the doubt.
What do you exactly mean by that, right? Benefit of the doubt that...
Because no, that they're just being kind. Because a lot of people think that there's always an ulterior motive. But what if they were just being nice?
Yeah.
And it escalated into something else, and then you start to feel like the other person is thinking certain things about you, and you're thinking certain things about them, and then that turns into an argument and a fight. But try your best to be kind, and that's why I go back to kindness.
Go back to kindness. Okay. All right. But does that still bother you? Or is it still something new to you? Like, for example, a lot of people forget that you're a talented stage actor, and that you've been also in a lot of other sitcoms and movies that caters to the general audience. But we also cannot deny that your most passionate fans or followers are from the LGBT side, who may be looking at you differently. And you know what I mean with that, right?
Yeah.
When they say that Marky, ang papasok sa isip nila, bench model, one of the most risque models in bench runway history. But does that still bother you at this stage in your career, that some of the people just really choose to look at you that way?
It's interesting because that's, again, the operative word is some. I remember during Mula sa Buwan, I was in Enchanted Kingdom, and I was sitting with Gab Pangilinan. And we were just sitting down, and then this family comes and says, "Can we have a photo with you guys?" I was like, okay. So we took a photo each. And then these individuals from the LGBT community come up and they go, "Marky, can I take a photo? I'm a fan of A Love at the End of the World." I said, "Oh, sure." And so Gab is watching this as this is happening. And then these kids come up, Professor Marky from Pokemon."
Oh.
Because I was, I've done 19 events for the Pokemon company in Japan. I work for them. Yes. And my market is as broad as it gets. Like, I do have the LGBT fans, who watched me, not just the gay community, but also the queer community, because I have done drag. I've done a drag series. And I'm an actor. I've done, after the drag series, I became an evil rapist in another show. So, it's a role.
Yeah, it's a
And
role.
what I do in my life is I really just put my heart and soul into everything I do because I love what I do.
Yeah.
I love to act. I love to perform. I love to make people happy.
Yeah.
That has been something that I've always loved to do. And it's reached a point where I've, it's hard now because like I really stopped focusing on the hate.
Yeah.
For a while, I was annoyed at when people would say certain things and I'd respond. But nowadays, it's just so much easier to take the kind route and block because they just don't need to exist in your life if they're gonna put negativity in your mind space. Just block them because they don't really need to be there. If they're kind and you're kind back, it's great. But if they're mean to you, why do you want to keep them in your general space? Just
Yeah. Agreed.
remove them from your chat room, which is your Facebook page, your Instagram page, so they don't come back and torment you again. And it's, I mean, yeah, okay, you said something negative, or you said something about how I look, or how it all comes down to accepting yourself and knowing who yourself is, or knowing who you are, so that you don't get affected by what other people say. Maybe
Yeah.
there's some things that they say that you can take and be like, okay, yeah, maybe I did that wrong. Next time I will be better. It's like a critic. I
Yeah.
will do better. Because I know for a fact that maybe I did that wrong. So I'll change that. But all of the other things, maybe about how I look or my weight or my ADHD or my sexuality or whatever it is they want to look at me and feel, it's their business. Whatever they say about me is none of my business. If
Okay.
they have an opinion about me, it's their business. And it's
Yeah.
up to them if they want to think that way about me. But it's none of my
Yeah.
business what they think about.
Yeah. Just continue what you want to do.
Because it's
Yeah.
it's it's their decision to feel a certain way about me. And that's completely fine. But I don't like that in my space. So block.
Yeah. That's social media can be bad, but that's a good thing about social media also is you can actually control it. So,
Yeah.
and for you, you chose to be kind and just guard your space by eliminating people by blocking them. You meant
Nowadays. But before, I had to learn to get to that point. It's a maturity kind of thing. Like
maturity
maybe
kind of
years
thing.
ago, I was a little bit more of a brash individual who would fight back. But now I'm like, okay, what are these people going through? Okay,
Yeah,
they're probably not in the best of shapes at the moment, so let them deal with their stresses, but not in my space, not in my safe space.
yeah, that's definitely maturity. So, last question before we'll talk about rent and a few things about your new movie that you're filming. Um, you mentioned earlier about sexuality. Correct me if I am wrong, but in some interviews, you actually said that you're kind of fluid. Is that the right term that you said?
No, I said I was demisexual, but like essentially, I don't. That's another thing. I don't think it's anyone's business.
Yeah,
To be
okay.
completely
But do
honest,
you,
yeah.
yes, but do you
How
think,
I define myself?
yeah, but do you think, as our, representative to the Mr. Universe, do you think that will affect you or should affect you in, being a contestant in Mr. Universe?
Not really,
Okay.
because I will be able to really showcase who I am without needing to express who I have sexual relations with. Because
Yeah.
I frankly think it's none of anyone's business. And to be honest, in this beautiful world we live in, I mean, I don't really care about who someone has sex with as long as they're protected
Yeah.
when they do.
Hmm. Okay. But, di ba? In Miss Universe, transgenders are already participants. So, di ba? So,
I
what's the
know,
issue? Yeah.
but that's the thing. To a certain point, we can live however we want to live. And sometimes I would much rather keep things to myself for the sole purpose of saving my relationships. I'm in a relationship now for 5 years. The reason it is going so well is because it's not out in the open. And I don't need it to be out in the open because I am in love. And I don't
Wow.
need other people like to mess that up. And I'm happy. So why am I going to add stress to it? It's already in a good
Yeah.
place.
Yes.
And
That's
I've been
just the
happy
right.
for an entire long time. And I haven't been this happy in a while. So why am I going to have anyone mess that up?
That's just the right feels that we need for Valentine's Day tomorrow. You're in love.
Exactly.
Marky is in love.
I am.
Okay.
I am
That's
completely.
good. That's
And who
nice.
knows? Maybe more. Maybe there is something brewing, maybe in the future. Because my mom's already asking me, Marky, when are you going to have kids?
Oh, okay.
So that's a long planning process. So maybe in